What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So Anthony Joshua is being interviewed, and the interviewer says to him that Tyson Fury was applauding you, gave you a standing ovation at the end of the fight with Ngannou. AJ, he kind of pauses for a second and he says, "Fuck Tyson Fury." Now, Tyson Fury responded. Well, he supposedly responded. I didn't watch the video. I saw like 2 different videos with a thumbnail saying that he responds to AJ. I don't care to know what he said. And here's the reality of it, okay? For AJ haters, they're, oh man, this guy feeling himself now, he this, he that. 1 minute you guys are bashing him for not having confidence. The next minute, oh, he's feeling himself. Let me explain something to you guys. And he says, he makes this comment about he's showing up to the fight to watch these 2 sausages and all this bullshit, right? Tyson Fury likes to dictate how things go. If Tyson Fury bashes you today, you're supposed to feel, honored that he mentioned your name, even though he's trying to rip you apart verbally. If Tyson Fury decides he wants to applaud you tomorrow, you're supposed to be honored because, well, he's mentioning my name. Tyson Fury is a weirdo. 1 minute, he says something good about a fighter. The next minute, you're trash. I remember him making a comment like 2 years ago talking about people can say what they want about AJ, but the man has accomplished a lot. He can walk away from boxing right now and never have to work a day in his life. What have you accomplished? And all in the same week, AJ is not elite. He can't compete on an elite level. He's not in my league. He's a bum. He's a dosser. So what? Tyson Fury applauded and stood up and okay, and big deal. He also had this look on his face like, oh, wow, because that his performance was outdone. Now, for Anthony Joshua, the way I see it, it's more of a man, like he said, fuck Tyson Fury, because Fury's full of shit. Now, we just saw John Fury and Anthony Joshua. There's nothing but admiration and constant handshakes and, hugs and smiling. And so that was those 2. Now, John Fury could either keep that same energy, or because it's his son, he can turn heel all of a sudden and start bashing Anthony Joshua the same exact way. It doesn't matter. The funny thing is, you take a situation like where, Baumgartner stabbed Shields in the back, and you got people acting like Shields doesn't have the right to feel like she was betrayed. But here you got 2 guys that's not friends, but Anthony Joshua's not supposed to feel any kind of way about Tyson Fury because it's Tyson Fury. Well, let me also remind you guys of something. You see, when Anthony Joshua was on the come up, if you remember, Deontay Wilder talked good about him. Tyson Fury talked good about him. As soon as he won that IBF title, it was like, okay, you notice a difference. The night he fought Klitschko, and I remember they interviewed Deontay Wilder and they asked him what did they think about his performance. And he said, he did a good job. Some things, he need to work on and stuff like that. And I started laughing because I'm like, wow, the most untalented, one-trick pony in the whole division has the nerve to try to critique someone's boxing skills. And I thought it was funny. Okay, wow. And I would say hypocritical, but I can't really say it's hypocritical of Wilder because Wilder doesn't realize he's not a good boxer. He does. No, he actually does. That's why he says what applies to other fighters don't apply to me, because I got a blessing and the curse in the right hand. But bottom line is, he does think he's better than what he is. Okay, and all of that changed. Instead of saying, man, that was a great fight. That was a great back and forth fight. And here's the thing. You want to defend your generation when people say this generation of heavyweights, they couldn't compete with the 90s, 80s, and 70s. And I agree. These guys are not, the division is not that exciting. But see, AJ is the one who was out here collecting belts. AJ is the one who wanted to unify and become undisputed. AJ is the one pushing to have the best fights. And he's not the one out here trying to avoid fights. And he's the one that said 50-50 with Fury. Even though he had 3 belts, there's one, because he didn't want any excuses for the fight to not happen. He said, I'll fight Wilder whether I have a belt or not, whether he has a belt or not. If I lose, I'll still fight Wilder. If he loses, I'll still fight Wilder. Yet, AJ ducked me. In fact, Wilder just made a comment not too long ago about him being ducked by Anthony Joshua, which was stupid, because basically he lost to Joseph Parker. I'm not even going to take that route again. But what this is you have these delusional people that realize they can make videos about a sack of potatoes and their fan base is going to watch because they have nothing better to do. So here's the thing. 7-8 Sports has a video. It's titled something like, all the AJ haters are back on the bandwagon. I didn't watch it. I'm not going to. I really don't even care about any of that at this point, because it's like, well, we already know when he speaks, Wilder can do no wrong, and that's who he speaks to back up. That just goes to show the fact that he even made a video about a fighter he claimed he cares nothing about, in the sense of, you know, for one, if Wilder would have won his fight against Parker, that's the fight we would have just had on March 8th. It would have been AJ versus Wilder. That's not what happened. The other thing is, we know 7-8 Sports don't want Anthony Joshua to win. We know that the Alphabet Boys don't want him to win. We already know that. So basically, he can't say anything about Ngannou that's going to make any sense, because he even opened his mouth that when Fury fought Ngannou, people got to give him his props. Ngannou his props, because people thought they slept on him. So when Wilder wanted to fight him, people were saying that, oh man, he's an MMA guy. But then when Fury fights him, all of a sudden, Ngannou is a great fighter and all. Okay, right. Now, you have no choice but to keep that same energy. Why? Because part of his point was, well, look at how the fight turned out. So it shows you Ngannou was better than what they thought. Now, that's how he left it, right? Okay. Well, that means Ngannou would beat Wilder in that sense, if we go by his logic. Why? Even in that first fight when it was called a draw, because of the 2 knockdowns, Wilder fans were saying Wilder won based on the 2 knockdowns. I ain't never seen no shit like that. We just seen Parker get knocked down twice against Zhang, and he still lost. And I had it scored 7-5. So he still lost. We've seen fighters get knocked down multiple times and still win a decision. It wasn't the first time. But if you look at what happened, wasn't a lot of punches being thrown. The punch output was low. But aside from those 2 knockdowns, how many rounds did Wilder win, right? Think about it. He said all of that, and he pumped Ngannou up. Now, Ngannou goes in there against AJ. I'm pretty sure this dude was sitting there crossing his fingers, probably crossing his toes. Him and Wilder was probably sitting there crossing each other's fingers together. They wanted AJ to lose. He wins. So you make a video saying that now all these AJ haters are back on the bandwagon. Well, listen at this right here, man. Why do you care who's cheering for AJ? If AJ would have lost, you would have made that video, doing the same thing you claim AJ did when Wilder lost. The same thing that Wilder claimed he did. You see, and this whole thing is everything that they're basing on, like for Wilder, is whatever Fury does and whatever AJ does. That's what they're looking at. And so they want to just be able to make a video to make a claim and say, yeah, look at what happened. They just thought for sure that Ngannou was going to beat Anthony Joshua. And that's all that was. So all of these videos now where people are, if you listen to people talk, they're so shocked. Why are you shocked? Why? Some people said AJ pulled off the upset. How was this an upset? You really thought Ngannou was better than AJ? Right. Based on what? What the people told you. What the people said. So Anthony Joshua is at a point where he realizes, man, I'm not doing this shit for people. I'm not doing this for approval. I tried to please everybody. I tried to bring the division something I felt it needed. Nah, my efforts wasn't appreciated by a lot of people. And you know, once you get to a point like where AJ was still winning fights, he lost to Usyk. You know, a guy who Wilder's yet to fight. Fury's getting ready to fight. But all of this talk about who's who and who's doing what, and what I'm saying is, well, damn, if you guys are so quick to say who could beat who based on what you think, or based on who you want to win, or you think so because this is what the majority is saying, I tell people, look at things through your lens. The problem is most of you don't understand what the hell you're watching. Okay, Anthony Joshua is clearly saying fuck Fury because Fury is a fucking fraud. Here's a man that had just sat here. Do you guys forget? He just sat here on that face-off with Usyk saying he's not going to fight Anthony Joshua. What's the sense? This man Usyk has beat him twice already, and I've beaten Wilder. Why does he feel the need to even bring Wilder's name into it at that point? Why? He's the hardest puncher in the heavyweight history. That's all he talks about. He never talks about Wilder's skills. That's all he ever talks about. It's his so-called hardest puncher in boxing history shit. What are people saying now? That AJ knockout, that's the hardest shot I've ever seen. Like I've never witnessed a punch that, like, I'm sitting there watching like, wow, AJ can punch. And I'm saying, you guys just noticed this shit? You just noticed AJ had this kind of power? When I'm making these videos saying, if you look at AJ against Usyk, you can see in his face he was unsure. He's not snapping his punches. He's not throwing them with speed, any purpose. It's like he doesn't really understand what he should be doing. And you could see he's holding himself back because he's fighting himself in the ring. He's not confident, and he's fighting the wrong way. He need to go in there the same way that he went at Ngannou. Strategic, smart, work behind the jab, keep it long. Simple. Usyk is a human being, but he tried to play chess with a chess master. You are a boxer puncher. I've been saying this forever. We saw Sugar Ray Leonard go in there and fight Duran because he was angry because Duran was saying all these things about his wife and him, and he took it personal. So he wanted to go in there and beat Duran in his own game, and he fought the wrong fight. When he got back to when it came to the second fight, Ray Leonard got back to what made him Ray Leonard, his all-around ability. And it wasn't even a contest. It wasn't even close. AJ didn't do that in the rematch. He did better in the rematch, but he still tried to fight him the same way. This AJ is confident. So when people, yeah, but this is Usyk. Yeah, okay, right. Well, AJ's better than Daniel Dubois for damn sure. And Anthony Joshua, and which is another fight I wouldn't mind seeing at some point down the line, if Dubois can keep winning. But bottom line is, even in that sense, is what I'm saying. When people bring up even, yeah, but look at, like they bring up this point about Fury. When I say Fury, AJ did what Fury failed to do on two different occasions against the same opponent. My reason for saying it, and let me explain for me. So I don't ever mix my words and what I'm saying with somebody else's words because maybe they said other things to connect to it that you disagree with, which I don't really care. But my reason for bringing that up is because, once again, okay, and part of 7-8 Sports point was, yeah, you guys built up Otto Wallin to be this extraordinary boxer because he held his own against Fury. Okay, cool. Give him his credit, right? At the same time, y'all had nothing negative to say about Wallin. All praises. Teddy Atlas and so many people picked Wallin to beat AJ. AJ crushed him. This is the AJ people thought we'd never see again. Okay? Y'all built Ngannou up to be a superhero. He went in there, much of nothing happened, but he dropped Fury. Most people thought, a lot of people, if not most, think Ngannou won that fight. Ngannou walked around calling himself the best heavyweight in the world. Humble. But what happened was, AJ crushes him in 2 rounds. Well, you got to understand, Ngannou, I still think Ngannou could have knocked him out. He never got a chance to land. Wow, you just can't give this man his credit. So basically, it just shows you they wanted AJ to lose. But AJ went in there and he performed at the highest level and showed, man, you're not in my level. Like he said, he's not on my level. He said that way before the fight even happened. But, him and Ngannou narrowed it down to be, being respectful to each other. But bottom line, he didn't go in there to play. And that's like I tell you, that's what matters, from bell to bell. Not all this circus antics outside, calling each other sausages and all this goofy shit. We don't care about all that. Now, he wins. Yeah, but. There's always a but. Okay. Let's look at this right here. My point for saying what I said was, how does Waleem go from being a world beater to, well, I mean, Waleem really ain't done nothing. Okay, what did he do before he fought Tyson? What did he do before that? Okay, it was the fight with Tyson that made you guys respect him. Now all of a sudden, he's no longer that guy. What did Ngannou do in a boxing ring that made you think that he had a chance with Fury? You understand what I'm saying? What? But he did better than what people thought. But people are not bringing certain things up about Fury for what in his approach to that fight. And I know why some of these people are doing it anyway. But at the same time, Ngannou came out here looking like a monster, right? Well, you guys sat here and went through all of that shit. But when he loses to AJ, now all of a sudden, well, it's only his second fight and blah, 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 right? Okay, cool. Like I said before, well, it was only his first fight with Fury. But because AJ outshines. So my point is, you guys like to discredit people because they don't get the job done. You crossed your fingers and hoped that Waleem was going to beat AJ. You hoped Ngannou was going to beat AJ, and it didn't happen. So when people are bringing up, yeah, but that don't mean AJ beats Fury. Okay, you go by this stupid logic of, but this guy beat this guy. Remember, this guy. It doesn't mean shit. Look, you know how I negate all that bullshit about styles make fights? This is what I look at. What fighter is more consistent with opposing their will? What fighter can bounce back from a loss? What fighter has shown improvement and shown like, okay, now I know how to control the distance. I know how to get in and out. I know how to you see, I know how to dictate the pace. I know how to work behind my jab and fight to my strength. Like, these are the things you got to look at. And when you see these subtle improvements and all of a sudden it's like, you see a huge improvement, right? Listen, this is what I do. But I always tell you, you never know what's going to happen come fight night because I cannot tell you what a man's going to do. Dewey Cooper told you that Francis Ngannou was going to stop AJ. He's vastly improved, and you're going to see something like you've never seen before in Ngannou. Well, trying to sell a fight, having belief in your fighter, whether he actually believed that or not, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, he did. That's not what happened, though, is it? So, with all that being said, listen. If you want to sit here and talk about who beat who, and then because you like that fighter, it means something. But because you don't like the fighter or you're still not confident, I don't get caught up in that. So I'm explaining why I made those comparisons. I don't care anything about, like when people say, yeah, but look at Dominic Brazil. Look at how fast Wilder knocked him out. So what? So what? Look, because now if you want to do that, let's add the intangibles. For one, when AJ fought Dominic Brazil was undefeated. Dominic Brazil was in his prime at that time. Yeah, let's be real. Wilder got the washed up version of him. Now, whether Wilder would have still beat him or not in his prime, I don't know. Because, again, Wilder, he just hasn't improved as a fighter. He's just been the same fucking fighter all that time. But bottom line is, he could have been fought Brazil. Why didn't he? He could have been fought Charles Martin. Why didn't he? He could have been fought Klitschko. Why didn't he? He could have been fought Joseph Parker. He could have been fought Dillian White. Why didn't he? And these are the things that people overlook. Okay, Otto Wallin also went there and beat up Dominic Brazil after Wilder beat him. So again, he also got a washed up version of Dominic Brazil. Wilder, it took him all night to get rid of Molina. AJ stopped him with like 4 or 5 or something like that or whatever. Okay, what does that matter? Mike Tyson crushed guys like Mike Tyson beat guys more impressively than Holyfield, right? According to stylistically. Mike will go in there like a guy like Alex Stewart. He ran him out of there in one round. Okay, wait. Stylistically, we know Mike hits harder than Holyfield. We know that Mike, that ferocious style, his style just looks more impressive. But what happened when they fought? And before anybody open their mouth and say, yeah, but you got to understand, Mike was older. Evander Holyfield is 4 fucking years older than Mike Tyson. Evander Holyfield had more wear and tear on his body than Mike Tyson. Evander Holyfield was fighting big, strong dudes, much taller, much bigger. And basically, we see what happened by the time he fought Lewis. Same thing. And, people, yeah, but Lewis was a late bloomer. So what? People make it sound like certain fighters had some magic spell put on them and all of a sudden now they're good fighters. No, it's the craft. It's your dedication to the sport. It's what you put in. Okay? So, bottom line is, yeah, he might look more devastating the way he knocked guys out, the speed, the movement, the up and down, all that. But when he fought Holyfield, did it work? No. When he fought Lewis, did it work? No. But again, excuses for Mike Tyson. So, no different. Okay? Once again, Muhammad Ali lost to Joe Frazier. He beat Joe Frazier. Lost to Ken Norton. He beat Ken Norton. Okay? George Foreman destroyed Ken Norton and Joe Frazier. Once again, nobody believed Ali had a chance. Okay? How's he going to beat Foreman, man? Nah. Look at what he had tough fights with Frazier and Norton. Man, Foreman walked right through those guys. Ali ain't gonna have nothing to keep them off, and Ali don't hit as hard as Frazier and Norton. How did the fight go? Okay, skills pay the bills, y'all. And this is the point of what I'm saying. When I look at the improvements in Anthony Joshua, let's not forget, okay, when AJ and Hearn was first talking about, he wanted AJ to stay busy. And Hearn was saying, well, he's looking at Zhilei Zhang. He was thinking about a tour of China and, get AJ to stay busy and stuff like that and just, rebuild. And I said, yeah, it makes more sense to me for AJ to do that, to stay busy, instead of waiting another year and a half because AJ wasn't fighting consistently. And I said, what's the sense of him rematching Usyk or going into a fight with a Fury or any other top guy if there's no improvement? Now, don't get me wrong. Fury is a whole different fight. And I when I watch AJ against Usyk, like I said, he fought the wrong style. The biggest thing with AJ was his confidence. And that's bottom line. We're not talking about a guy that never could fight, that, stepped up in competition and finally lost. No, here's a guy who always could fight and just lost himself. Now, take all of that into account, take account for all of that. Think about it. AJ, what he did was, he said, I don't want to fight tune-ups. What's the purpose? To go through a grueling training camp just to fight a tune-up. And I understand that. How he feels. Why he feels that way. The problem, AJ, is that if you're not an improved fighter, you're going to go into this fight talking about, just with prayer, just try my best and just pray. Yeah, we get it. We get it. You're humble, but you don't sound confident. This is what people wanted to continue to see in AJ, the ones that wanted to see him lose. So my point was, it's stupid. It's senseless for him to, like, people talk about, there was people that AJ fans that was saying, I think AJ, and maybe in the third fight, I'm like, it's pointless. For what? He doesn't deserve a third fight. Let somebody else get the shot. Simple. And if there's no improvement, what is the purpose? What is the point of going into a fight, especially another big fight, and you're the same fighter? You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is, get back sharp. Get back to the point where you need to be. Now he's done that. And those people that counted him out, that wanted him to be, of that shaky mindset, not sure about himself, yeah, they don't like the fact that he's confident again. Now, and all that being said, Don't tell me nothing about who beat who. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, just like I said, just because Usyk beat AJ doesn't mean Fury does. And I believe this AJ beats Usyk. I believe this AJ beats Fury. I always believed he beat Wilder regardless. Any form of AJ beats Wilder. I definitely don't see Fury the way other people see Fury. And y'all keep talking about this, how Fury's footwork, you guys haven't been watching Fury, have you? Fury is not who y'all think he is. If Tyson Fury had taken Usyk light and struggled with Usyk, it would be more understandable because Usyk's a world-class fighter. But you struggle with a fucking novice. And nobody understood and paid attention to why. And overall, AJ showed, nah, I'm not here to play with you. I'm here to take your head off. And that's what he did. So when you hear people say, this is what Fury was supposed to do, yeah. But I'm going to tell you something, too. For all of y'all that just started saying, damn, yo, I ain't going to front, man. AJ hit harder than Fury. And I'm like, and it just took that fight for y'all to understand that. I've been telling you guys, just like what I said, Fury's not a devastating puncher, but he's big. If he sits down on his punches, he will be able to hurt guys because he can get his weight on his shots. The problem with Fury never liked to sit down on his punches unless you made him mad. And then he started to come forward. We've seen him do it a couple of times in the past. But Fury likes to be fleet of foot and move from big punches. You understand what I mean? So he doesn't sit down on his punches. That's why he was hitting guys with these little shots. Now, a shot that you don't see coming can daze you or whatever, but Fury basically started to sit down on his punches, and he developed that confidence against Wilder because the right hand is all he had to worry about. And he still got caught with that shit. Notice Parker didn't get caught with it? Okay, so what I'm saying, everybody says style make fights, but then when you make a valid point and point out the things that was the turning points in the fight or key factors, yeah, but this and but that. Listen, I don't debate with people, and I'm not in my feelings about no fighter. I don't care who win or lose. I'm never in my. I don't care about that shit personally. I'm saying to you guys, all of this talk about, but it don't mean this and that, is because AJ's back on top, and that's all that is. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with nothing else. It's like Philip Urkovic said he wasn't impressed with AJ's win. You know, he doesn't have to be impressed with his win. That's fine. The point is, he's a guy that wants to fight AJ. Just like a lot of us are not impressed with the win that he got over Zhang, because most people feel like Zhang really won. So you got a decision that was gifted to you in most people's minds. Okay? So for those, oh no, he won that, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is, he doesn't validate anybody by liking their fight or not. If Philip Urkovic had fought against Ngannou and did the same exact thing that AJ did, you think he'd be saying, well, I'm not impressed with my performance? Of course not. So that doesn't matter. Now, AJ gets in there with Urkovic and smoke him out his boots. What is he going to say? The same way Otto Wallin was talking all that shit before they fought. What was his words after the fight? Now I have to just basically admit what happened, right? Because you sound stupid trying to make up excuses as to what happened. You got your ass whooped. That's what happened. Bottom line, AJ finally he not only understands what he's supposed to do in the ring, but he also understood the other part, which is, man, the hell with all these people trying to impress these folks and looking for validation from these people, man. He see what it's like to be turned on. He see what happens. They cheer you today, they boo you tomorrow. He see it. He gets it. So, yeah, him saying fuck Fury is what he should have been saying. And in the past, that's been part of his criticism. And this motherfucker over here, big up in Wilder and Fury, and they talking all this shit about him. Just like at the end of the fight that he had with Wallin and Wilder got knocked out, and he said, I could rip him apart right now. All the stuff he says, but I'm going to take the high road. And he didn't have anything to say about Wilder. He wasn't focused on him, okay? Wilder's name was mentioned to him. But when you look at that situation, right, what did Wilder do the next day? He went on 7-8 Sports and whined and literally cried and made excuses. It's everybody else's fault that he lost except for him and Joseph Parker. You went in there, you fought a guy that was just a better fighter. You got your ass whooped. Simple. After he said he was supremely confident he's going to knock Joseph Parker out. And that's what all these people thought. Now, that all being said, him saying, fuck Tyson Fury, I just feel like, well, it's about time. And he left it at that. There was no long-winded conversation about it. But bottom line is, yeah, Fury likes to play games. Fury's two-faced. Fury just says a lot of goofy shit. And like I said, he likes to dictate what you do and what you think. And nobody, AJ's not a part of this little circus act that Fury wants to put on. And the fact of the matter is, Fury's talking about retiring after the Usyk fight. So, at the end of the day, the rumor, the lie, let's not even say rumor, the lie that Wilder told about somebody in the room, even if somebody told him that shit, somebody very well in his camp could have told him that, because they are a bunch of liars. That AJ and Hearn was in there plotting, man, if Wilder would have won, I was going to retire. Well, we heard Fury say that out of his own mouth that he's going to retire. He's done everything. He's held every championship. He's a 2-time world champion. Held every title is. Lineal champion, all this other shit, and Ring Magazine, all this stuff. And he sat there and said he will not fight AJ. There's no fight. So why were you at the fight? Okay. As a spectator, were you there scouting to see who? Nah. And believe me, for him to sit here and say he's not going to fight AJ and try to make it seem like there's no point because Usyk beat him, like I said, that has nothing to do with you. Now imagine if Ali never fought Foreman. People would have said Foreman would have killed Ali. Ain't no way Ali would have beat him at that point, man. I mean, come on. Look at Ali's two biggest rivals and look at what Foreman did to them. Yeah, that's what people would have said. But the fight happened and it didn't go the way people thought it was going to go. All right? But Ali always could fucking fight. Always. And even when you say, let's make this fucking clear, because people always overlook this fact. Even when you say styles make fights, yeah, one punch can still turn the fucking tables. So it's no fucking guarantee that you're gonna win just because stylistically your style matches up with another fighter's style, and you may be the better fighter, but so yeah, that element is always there, and especially in heavyweight boxing, right? So all right then, have the same energy all around the board for everybody. I'm not into this pick and choose who I want to say this for. I'm looking at the improvements in Anthony Joshua. The Anthony Joshua that fought Usyk, the Anthony Joshua that fought Pulev, the Anthony Joshua that fought Robert Helenius. This was not a scared Anthony Joshua. This was a very cautious Anthony Joshua. This was an Anthony Joshua who was, falling into this, I want to be this straight up pure boxer. It's like, that's not what you are, man. Just like Anthony, look, and I'm the one saying this. I've been saying it. Like he's not sure what he's supposed to do. He's not sure of himself. Even when he found out that he could fight on the back foot in the Ruiz rematch, you didn't see him mix it up to where he could dominate the fight. So he didn't, it's like, okay, he needs to put all of this shit together. Like I said, guys, you gain experience not just in wins, but in losses as well. Each training camp, the different coaches, a smart fighter will be able to take all that with them. So when people, there's no way, when you go from trainer to trainer, it takes you a long time to get, yeah, okay. It shows you with Anthony Joshua that obviously he's in a better space. And what he went through helped him. It worked out for him. People try to label you. They try to put you in a box. They put limitations on you and want to tell you this is where you are, this is what you can and can't do, based on what others went through, or, well, traditionally, usually what happens is this. Usually, no. Like I said, you don't let people tell you what you can and can't do. Now, do you have fighters that's not as good as they think they are? They have more mouth and ability? Absolutely you do. But like I said, AJ just needed to get his confidence back, and now he does. And the people who wanted to see him down are pissed off about that. And the people who are shocked are like, oh, okay, yeah, because you thought, look, Johnny Nelson went from saying Anthony Joshua didn't change, Ben Davison didn't change him. It's the same Anthony Joshua. He just knew what he had to do against Otto Wallin because they were sparring partners. Then Johnny Nelson said, well, Anthony Joshua, depending on how he fights Ngannou, this will tell us where AJ is. Because with Wallin, you know, we saw the fight and he did a good job, but he knew what he was okay. The same way he knew what he had to do against Wallin. Wallin knew what he had to do against AJ. But who's the better fighter? That's what I'm talking about. So all these styles make fights. Okay, fine. But who's the better fighter between the two? That's the difference. Fuck the styles make fights. That's why you look at a guy and say he's faced all these different styles. Right. The better fighter is going to win, regardless to your style. The better fighter is going to win. If I'm better than you, then you shouldn't beat me. It's as simple as that. If we're talking about guys like people love you just turn 50-50, okay, you say that on paper. We don't know what mindset a guy's going to show up in at a fight. And that's what I said. The mindset of AJ wasn't confident. For a minute, we saw it. He was unsure of himself. But if you're gonna, you know, sit here and play this whole, yeah, but AJ, he said that he was gonna when he was talking about fighting Zhang, it wasn't AJ. AJ never says a person's name. It's always someone asking him, and like he tell you, get with the team, Eddie Hearn, the team, they tell me who they want me to fight, I'll fight anybody. And he always says the same thing. Now, when you ask him, do you want to fight Wilder or a certain guy? Yeah, he'll tell you, yeah, I absolutely want that fight. But AJ doesn't talk that kind of shit. They do. They do all the talking. His opponents. It's not him. So with all of this stuff that people are saying, oh, he you know, back to Johnny Nelson, saying like, we'll know where he is. Okay. Even Johnny Nelson didn't expect AJ to do what he did. Tony Bellew, who was good friends with AJ, was like, he didn't want him to fight Wilder. He was, you know, I'm telling you, when you're programmed to see things a certain way and you go with the majority, you don't look through your own lenses. You look through what other people are saying. And I'm like, y'all keep talking about Wilder like he's some skillful fucking boxer. Go back through y'all know I've been saying this. And it's like, man, AJ, listen, AJ got every much as bit of a chance to knock out Wilder because AJ can do it with both hands. And he's a much smarter fighter than Wilder. Wilder's just wild, sloppy, just windmill punching it. Wilder's he has no ring IQ whatsoever. He doesn't even know what the fuck he was. If you look at him fight Parker, you didn't find yourself watching him laughing going, Wilder, what the fuck are you doing? The same way AJ is a boxer puncher. That's what he is. Wilder's not a boxer at all. Wilder's not even a boxer. He's just a right-handed puncher. So why the fuck were you skipping around the ring, dancing around to do what? Why'd you come in the fucking ring 213 pounds? Why? So, you know, all of these things that people overlook, when they mention it like you make it sound like somebody made Deontay Wilder come in at 213. He was too heavy at 238. 213 was too light. Yet, what was the word? 213 is his best weight. That came from his coach's mouth. That came out of his mouth. So what went wrong? Come on, y'all. You know, all these excuses. So, yeah. Fury said Anthony Joshua can't compete with the elite. He said Ngannou would knock him spark out. He said Wilder would knock him spark out. All these things that he said, once the hate turned on, they never turned it back off. What AJ has been proving people wrong. Even in the performances that people was criticizing him in, he still was proving people wrong. And you see him back in top form, so now all of a sudden, it's, oh shit. Yeah, look at Fury's face when that knockout happened. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. So, if for you to say your reason for not fighting him is because he's not on an elite level, well, he outdid you with two opponents that gave you big trouble, and he made it look easy. So you can, and an opponent that you just fucking fought. So you can't sit here. See, and this is the difference. We're not talking about no 5 years later he fought a guy that was washed up. No, he fought the same dude that just put you on your ass. Okay. So bottom line, that should make him say, okay, nah, AJ's back. Yeah, it's on. After I beat Usyk, it's me and AJ. No, you don't hear him saying that. No, he's talking about retiring after Usyk. And he's going to refer to this man as a sausage and all this shit and talk down on him. Same thing. And it's like I said, look at Anthony Joshua's face expression, his facial expression at that press conference in Saudi when Deontay Wilder was talking. He was staring a hole in Wilder. And when Wilder said that, it's good to see him, it's been a long time, be back in the same room with him, and wishing them but the best and talk about how the fight. Remember his words. I believe the fight's gonna happen, even if it don't happen, I wish you all the best, but I believe it's gonna happen, and all those things, and had nothing tough to say. And Anthony Joshua's facial expression was like, this motherfucker, whatever. Yeah. Because he was expecting to talk some shit. Talk that same shit you talk when you're not in front of me. And he didn't do that. He waited until they were no longer in the same room. I could see the fear in his eyes. Like, he definitely was afraid of me. And I'm just like, man, bro, like, what is wrong with you, man? And the world like to put that nobody wants to fight Wilder bullshit. Okay, nobody wants to fight Wilder. But you see Wilder the one telling people I'll freeze you out for 2 years. Wilder the one telling people, turning down fights of a guy that just beat him. Wilder the one turned down the fucking contract that was signed by Zhang, but not it. So it's always these people want to build something to be better than what it is. They want to build something to be more than what it is. And when that thing fades and falls, it becomes a whole, okay, there's still the possibility this guy, we can get him back in the big fight. Because it's all about money. What can we do? Who can we bring him back against? Things of that nature, right? So when you hear people making excuses, it doesn't change anything. But let's be real. If right now, for example, if Usyk beats Tyson Fury, right? And let's say he beats him both times on top of that. And then let's say Fury just feels like, man, I don't want to go out with a loss, man. And all of a sudden he starts talking about, let's do it for Britain. Let's do it, you sausage. The Gypsy King and Anthony Joshua, I'm revived. I'm back. Let's say he does that. And AJ goes, man, listen, you just lost to Usyk twice. I have no reason to fight you. You know what people would say? Yeah, AJ, but Usyk also beat you. That would make sense now, wouldn't it? Has Fury ever beaten Anthony Joshua? No. So even if he beat Usyk, it doesn't mean he beats AJ. And this AJ, definitely, I'll go with him. I'll put money on those fights. And like I say, I never know what a man is going to do when he show up. But this AJ beats all of them. All of them. All of them. When you believe in yourself, you do everything better. What do women say about men? Confidence is sexy, right? That motherfucker threw that fucking right hand, and he hurt him every time he hit him with that shit. When he dropped him, I remember people, I don't think he was hurt from no, that motherfucker was hurting that first punch too. He was hurt every time he got dropped. The last one just like, damn, he landed that shit and caught him. And you know what's funny? When I was watching that fight, and I told you guys, look at Usyk's guard. Ngannou's guard. That shit he gets away with the MMA with that wide guard shit. And I'm watching AJ paw with his jab. He snapped the jab. He gave him that jab for different reasons. When he's pawing with it, I want to see how he reacts. When he feints, I want to see how he reacts. Now I'm going to feint with the jab. I'm popping him. Okay. I can catch him from this distance. His hands is open wide. I'm going to come over that shit. You see what he did when he came in? When he knocked him out? As soon as the referee, he stepped in, he put his hand out, measured him. Bam! Wide open. Did I not tell y'all? Ngannou doesn't see his flaws as mistakes. He doesn't have the experience because the things he can get away with his stand-up in MMA, he doesn't realize that shit gets him knocked out in boxing. Yeah. And that's why I say, I don't give a fuck if Fury, we always talk about muscle memory, don't we? So I don't give a fuck if Fury took him light and Fury wasn't on his A game, a fucking novice. The same way y'all talked about how when Chris Arreola was fighting Andy Ruiz and standing up to him, how, hey, that's how you fight Andy Ruiz. Fucking Anthony Joshua, man, he running around dancing and shit. No, okay, well, he won, right? the rematch. But the same way too, let's look at Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz was put in a fight, completely different style from Jarrell Miller. What happened, happened. He won, bottom line. He lost the rematch. And when you look at the shit and you say, that's how you fight Andy Ruiz, well, at least for Andy Ruiz, he's a top-level fighter, okay? Well, you can't say the same thing about Ngannou, can you? Now, that's how the fuck you fight Francis Ngannou. And I'm just being real. You heard me get on AJ. You heard me speak, in a positive way about him. And it's like, look, if you take all Deontay Wilder's bullshit aside, all the excuses, the lies, only thing I'd be saying about Deontay Wilder is the same thing I've been saying from day one. He needs some skills to go with that right hand. He needs to change his mindset because he doesn't think he needs to improve in skills. He think the right hand is everything. He think he got Thor's hammer in his right hand. So, with all the bullshit that goes with it, come on. There's no fucking way. Listen here. A deal is a deal. You hold up your end of the bargain, this is what's going to happen. You hold up your end of the bargain, this is what's going to happen. And for you to lose and not hold up your end of the bargain and then say that a guy ducked you, and not to mention, the fact of the matter is, Turkey is the one who said he don't want to put Wilder on the next card because he didn't like what he saw in the Parker fight. So how the fuck were you ducked? And you the one that was doing all the damn ducking. And only a stupid person can hear you say these things, but say something completely different. It's like this: Wilder's not intelligent enough to make an intelligent lie for himself, so we got to do it for him. He's going to say something that's going to make us all look bad. We got to make excuses for him. This is what I say, okay? Because I really, to be honest with you, as far as AJ versus Wilder goes, I feel like, man, this is a fight that should have been happened a long time ago. If Wilder would have won, like I said, that's what we'd have just got, instead of Ngannou. And it would have been Wilder, knocked out in fucking probably one round. But bottom line is, that fight, as far as it actually happening, it's like, for me, it's the same with Fury. It's like, okay, if it happens, cool. But when someone has been avoiding a situation, when someone talks like they're not interested in something, then I'm not interested either. And y'all know my mentality is different. I don't sit here and jump up and clap when I hear a fight's gonna happen. I'm just like, okay, cool. That should be a good fight. Okay, let's see what happens. And that's it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just about the good fights, man. I'm not sitting here like worrying about a fighter's legacy. Personally, I'm not sitting up here like, even when I say I want to see a fighter win, I'm not a hater of anybody. I just tell the truth about what I see. If fucking Deontay Wilder, let me say this: if Wilder changed his mind, Wilder is his biggest problem, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you can overlook it all you want, but Wilder loves to have a trainer that just does what he says and what he wants. Wilder doesn't like to be told and directed like, Wilder, I need you to do this. This is what we need to. No, Wilder wants to tell you what to do. Just like when Mike Tyson had his camps going and he gets to the point, like he says, longer they knew I was the boss. So Mike Tyson, see, Cus D'Amato had him when he was real young. And that's why I say you don't know what would have happened as Mike matured and got older, rather, let's say, and became a grown, got older and came into his own as a man. He might have stopped listening to Cus D'Amato. They might have wound up parting where people, oh no, he loved him like a father. Man, you got actual father and son that separate. You don't know what would have happened. So when people say if Cus D'Amato would have never died, Mike would have been undefeated. You don't know that. And especially the thing is, when you have honor, then it's like this. He could have thought, if Cus was here, I know what he want me to do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. I mean, let's be real. Cus D'Amato was an old fucking man. It's not like he could physically get in there and show Mike what to do. He was his knowledge. You understand? You can carry out these things. You guys all said Anthony Joshua was going to fail because, man, he went through all these trainers and he this and that. And the funny thing about him switching trainers, like, what did he say? He said people make up. He said, look, the reason, he said, I didn't part from Derek James. Like he said, I still want Derek James to be on board. He said, the thing is, I don't live in America, so the back and forth, it's more, you know, strain on me to go back and forth. Then I got to fight, and so I'm already here. And he said him and Derek James still talk weekly, and you know, the knowledge is there, the back and forth. Derek James watch things that he do, I guess, you know, do like, you know, video app or whatever, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, y'all say he couldn't do it. Boxer said he couldn't do it. Different boxing personalities said he couldn't do it. Too many people. No, you got to stick with one guy. See, and the problem is this and that. Listen, man, again, this is people giving you their take. But here's the thing. Use your common sense, people. Somebody tell you that you can't do something. Meanwhile, you're doing it. Does it add up to you? And this is the thing. Imagine if Wilder did listen to Mark Breland. Okay? Physically being capable of doing something and just, you know, being to you, because you can get the right instructions, and that person's style is just different from yours. You understand what I'm saying? That person's style is just different. So you know, don't tell me nothing about trainers. Look, Angelo Dundee ended up with George Foreman. How does a motherfucker that trained a guy like Ali and like the trained guys that dance and move end up with a guy that comes forward just throw clubbing shots? You understand what I'm saying? So you can't sit here and say what a guy can't do based on, you know, and don't get me wrong. I agree when you go with a different trainer. If the trainer, that it's different, people have different training styles. So if depending on what type of trainer you have, if the trainer is trying to change you, that's when it's different. If the trainer understands you, they see your speed, you know, the snapping your shots. They see your foot on work, your movements, like your defense, like everything. They're watching what you do good, what you don't do good, and they're able to, okay. It's about tweaking. It's about adding to things and bringing out what happened. Like people talk about Emmanuel Stewart changed Lewis. The change came, what he did was he showed, look, man, look how tall you are. Look at your reach. Why are you fighting guys on the inside so much? It's good to be able to fight on the inside, but you need to keep it long and work off your jab, man. You hit hard, you got power, you know, you got speed. You're a big dude, you know, why are you putting yourself in harm's way, standing there fighting in somebody's chest all night long when you don't have to? Make the fight easier for you. And you watch Lennox Lewis before Emmanuel Stewart. Lewis had that seek and destroy style. He still had it, even with Lewis. It's coming off the jab now. It's more cerebral now. He's doing it more purposeful now. And all you heard was, I'm a pugilist specialist, right? He realized, yeah, that's the thing. He got it. It clicked. He got it. How many other fighters have Lewis' stature but wasn't the same? You got to be the same type of fighter. Michael Grant was a good fighter, but Michael Grant wasn't consistent, and he was known to get careless, and he didn't have the best chin. You understand what I mean? So you can't just, like, you know, Javon Sugar, anybody. I don't care who you are as a trainer. You can train anybody. That doesn't mean that they all going to be good fighters, or they're going to be as good as everybody's going to be on the same level because you train them. No, you have to look at what a fighter has. What is it that this fighter needs to work on? And that's the difference. That's the difference. So when you go to a different training style, it's like, okay, depending on what that trainer, how that trainer interacts with you, and you got to understand, people bring other guys in to give different looks to see what you're doing, to give their input. So it's not like it's just one guy that you just with all the time. It's always different people coming in camp. But overall, and let's look, for example, Garcia said AJ got everything he needs. He just got crazy power, everything. Everybody always compliment his power. But bottom line is like, yeah, he just has to believe in himself. So Ben Davison, let's just say he was the final piece of that puzzle. So in all of this whole video, my point is, yeah, the response to Tyson Fury, but I just wanted to, you know, bring up some things that are elements into, you know, you got to think. It's not just a comment because the guy said one thing. It's a whole history between these two. You know what I mean? And so all these other people that run their mouth and talk, Fury tried to freeze out Anthony Joshua. Him and Wilder teamed up together, tried to freeze him out. We gonna fight each other. We don't need AJ. I mean, you know. And bottom line, look at how things play out. See, that saying, when the smoke clears, who's still standing tall? And for for Tyson Fury to sit here and tell you guys he's not fighting Anthony Joshua, there will be no Anthony Joshua fight. All this stay in your lane shit and all that, man, listen, you ain't got to worry about Anthony Joshua going in your lane unless you hold that title and you decide to not retire, because at the end of the day, you never wanted to fight AJ. And remember, like I said, Fury was the one that told that story about how AJ took it to him in sparring. This guy is going to be a phenomenal fighter. Yeah, right. And then all of a sudden, AJ starts shining and he becomes champ, and all of a sudden, everything just changed. Everything changed. Now the hatred, the jealousy, the bitterness comes out. So, listen, at the end of the day, y'all, we all have different personalities. It's no different from when you go to work. You deal with different people. People have different, you have some people like, the way they are and the way you are don't mix. And you said it from the very beginning, watch what you say to me. Or, your interactions with people are different. You can have two best friends. Like, you'll do the same things for both people, but one of them you might not talk to about certain things like you or the other, because one of them might just talk too much. Or, you understand what I mean? You have a different chemistry with those people. The same thing, man, when with these fighters. People will turn on you. People want, they're opportunists. And we know Fury's an opportunist. And that's why I said, don't be like, just what if one day something happens and all of a sudden Fury and Parker has a falling out? Fury got the kind of mentality, man, I wouldn't be shocked if he started talking about how he helped him. He's the reason that he beat Wilder, and I did this for you and I did that for you. And Parker has thanked Fury and his team and different people for helping him out in camp and stuff like that and whatever. So, and you feel like, damn, that's fucked up, man. How you gonna stab him in the back like that, right? But that's what opportunists do. And this is what you got to understand about people. When a person see and talk about what they accomplished. Now, let's just think. Anthony Joshua said 5 years from now he won't be boxing. Now, that's what he said. If he's 34 now, right? So, bottom line is he said 5 years from now. So, I take that as he wants to retire by the time he's 38. So, that's 4 years more. A lot can be done in 4 years, man. And, already to what he's already done. So a lot can be done. And if him and Fury never fight because Fury retires, it's only because Fury don't want to fight Anthony Joshua, man. He had multiple opportunities, and AJ never turned no fight down with him. Wilder had multiple opportunities. AJ never turned the fight down with him. And even what's his name, Luis Ortiz, he turned, remember, people always act like they forgot that. He turned the fight down. He turned the fight down with Anthony Joshua to fight Wilder. So his name would have been on the resume as well. But that's the way things go. And when you look at the heavyweight landscape right now, AJ can give some of these other guys that's out there that's skillful, that's trying to get their names out there. I don't want to, when I say up and coming, a guy like Frank Sanchez is already an established fighter. Like, there's guys, FHI, these are not new guys. These guys have been around for a while. They when I say up and coming, I mean in terms of notoriety. But skill-wise, yeah. If AJ, he can give, FA already has a loss to Frank Sanchez, but I'm saying he can give a lot of these guys their first loss. He can be in some real solid fights. And I don't understand how you're a part of something. Like, for me, anything I've been a part of, I can remember being a part of, like, doing poetry, doing music, boxing, being in the ring, and you sit back like, man, this whole night was, like, I'm that type of person, man. Like, now when you box, you box. I ain't focused on other people fight, but I'm that type of dude, man. I want to see everybody do good. You understand what I mean? I want to, I've never been a person, like, I'm not focused on, like, and what's funny that I say that too, because also, I remember we used to just battle rap all the time. That was just like I used to walk around with like a little notebook, little chill, because I could look at something and all of a sudden just, damn, a verse just boom, let me write this down before I forget it. And I'm talking like, when people, who you think better, I never cared. I just know when I was in that battle, I'm coming to cook you. So I never cared about it. And I never took it like you want to be the best at what you do, but it never was one of these things where I'm arguing with people or I'm, yo, no, like this is my life. Like if I don't win this, I'm gonna kill myself. Like this is the way people act. You know what I mean? So it's like when I'm humble with no fucking fear of nobody, no situation. So people didn't understand that. Like when you have like real incredible abilities to do different things, people expect you to be arrogant. They expect you to like, so people used to say like, yo, I would never thought of it, man. Like, damn, like, yo, your bars, your lyrics, your cadence, like yo, like how the fuck do you think of this kind of shit? Like, yo, yeah, because it's different. If I was carrying myself in a way where I'm battle rapping, I'm out there just rapping all the time, like it's just a certain, people think there's a certain way you have to act when you're a rapper. It's like when you're a rapper, right? You do a movie. What's the first movie they put you in? You playing a drug dealer or some shit, right? Stereotypes. So my whole thing was like, everything I did, my point is, I didn't need to tell you. I never felt the need to tell you I think I'm the best. I didn't need to or feel offended because somebody thinks they're better than me. Or feel offended. I don't care. When we compete, that's what I'm going to show you. That's why I respect AJ's mindset. That's why I respect, that type of shit. Because, like, even, like, look at 50 Cent, the rapper. You don't hear for, I'm saying, man, 50 Cent, nigga, we up here doing big things. 50 Cent is well-spoken. But he stands on business. Now, does he troll people and start shit and all that or whatever? A lot of times people started shit with him. He was just ending it. He was just putting an end to it. But bottom line, what I'm saying is, 50 Cent is not, he's well spoken, but he made that street music. He made it a lot. He gave you a variety of different things, but he give you street music. So he wasn't about sagging his pants and hunched over and trying to put this act on this is how I'm supposed to look because I'm a rapper. I'm supposed to have a bandana tied around my head with a knot in it and have my pants sagging or have a t-shirt wrapped around my head. All this like shit where, and I've never been that type of person. So that's why for me, like I say, I don't need this circus shit, man. I'm about the action. So I didn't watch Anthony Joshua and Ngannou because of what they said to each other. I just wanted AJ to do what he did, like I said, and send him either to the back of the line or send him back to MMA. Bottom line. Francis, if he's going to stay, he needs to earn his keep, man. He didn't earn shit. What he earned was in MMA. It had nothing to do with boxing, his star power. And you see the fight with him and Fury didn't do the numbers that they thought it was going to do. But, being that he held his own, there's more intrigue now. So now people hearing, damn, and just imagine Dewey Cooper say he's going to even be better against AJ. Yeah, that's what he said. What happened, though? And who would you say he didn't get better? Bottom line is AJ's just that much better. So when you got people saying, yeah, man, but if you'd have got a chance to land, well, he didn't get a chance to land. What kind of stupid shit is that? What kind of stupid shit is that? That's just, I wanted that motherfucker to get knocked out. So when it doesn't happen, y'all know how it goes. But listen, at the end of the day, those words, fuck Fury, I understand it clearly. I understand it clear. Goddamn, I just watched a tree fall. It's windy as hell. And that motherfucker, damn, that's a big ass tree. And luckily it landed in the grass, not the road. Damn. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So just saying, y'all, that's where that comes from. This guy talks shit. 1 minute he's talking shit about you. The next minute, he'll compliment you. The next minute he's talking shit about you. Look at all the shit he talks about everybody. When it comes to Usyk and Anthony Joshua, you can go back and look at Tyson Fury's entire history. He's never showed so much bitterness and anger towards two fighters. And it's simply because these guys are more than a threat to him. And I'm pretty sure He didn't want to fight AJ before. He definitely don't want to fight him now. And it's like for example, look at Devin Haney. The image, the label, the title that they try to give him is he's a prep boy. He's a soft prep boy. They done made lies up and talked about him and Terrence Crawford had a fight and how Terrence Crawford jumped on him, was beating him and pounding him and all this, like all this dumb shit. And I'm like, and y'all really believe that happened? And the only channels that's giving you this is some shit with like an automated voice, a bot talking, and right, okay. So Devin Haney's not bruised and marked up. Nobody said nothing. Nobody saw this, but it happened. You understand what I mean? So, yeah, they try to label you to be a certain way, and when they label you, that's what they want to stick with you. So when you're hearing people still talking about, Anthony Joshua being not sure of himself, having a weak mind and all of this, I watched Vladimir Klitschko get knocked out by Corey Sanders. I watched him get knocked out by Layman Brewster. Years later, after he avenged the fight with the loss to Layman Brewster, years later he's holding his belt, and I promise you, every fucking fight that he had, years later, win after win after win after win after win, Jim Lampley, whoever was at that fight commentating, had to bring up the suspect chin of Vladimir Klitschko, and I'm like, the guy got knocked out by two devastating punches. He comes back, he avenged one of the losses. Vitaly, beat, Corey Sanders' ass, but he avenged that loss to Layman Brewster, and at that point never lost another fight again, and was for years holding his belt, winning. And they keep bringing up the so-called suspect chin. For people tuning in for the first time, you don't know Vladimir Klitschko. You think like he got knocked out in his last fight or something. Like, bro, that was a long time ago. So yeah, they try to put these little stigmas on you. They try to put this is who he is, this is what this person is, and then it's supposed to stick. So yeah, Vladimir Klitschko had the suspect chin. Devin Haney is the little soft prep boy that didn't grow up in the hood, and he don't have our struggles, so he's not built like us. He's not a real champion. Then he goes and he spank ass all over the ring. So you know how bad that makes you look? So just saying, like, that's what people do, man. But the reality, y'all, is this. It doesn't matter what people say. It's what happens in the ring. And Tyson Fury is the type of guy, he likes mind control. So they hear, fuck Tyson Fury. And then change the subject. I'm pretty sure that fucked his ego up even worse. And what makes Tyson Fury looks really bad is because he's already came out and said, nope, no fight with AJ. And you hear when Eddie Hearn talks about, like he said right in front of Frank Warren, that's the fight he wants to see. Did you see Frank Warren jumping in and support Fury with that bullshit? Or, well, no, there's no reason for Fury to fight AJ. I mean, Usyk already beat him. What did Frank Warren say? Hey, it's a massive fight. It's definitely a massive fight. If Tyson Fury beats Usyk and AJ goes in there and Hulk smash Urkovic, do you know how much bigger this fight would be now? And especially with the resurgence of Anthony Joshua, do you know how big this fight would be then? Do you know how big a third fight, which would lead to a fourth fight, would be if Usyk wins? And then him and Anthony Joshua end up fighting again. Now, a much improved Anthony Joshua. So, you understand what I'm saying? He's in a great position right now. And the bottom line, I can understand. We already got Usyk versus AJ. So if I had my pick, like what I would rather see, to me it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Fury first. If especially if it is. Listen, bottom line, fight Fury. Whoever wins, whoever wins. And then AJ got to get past Urkovic. But bottom line is, I understand why people want to see him in Fury. That would be the fight. But like I said, if it happens, it happens. That's with any fight. I'm not sitting up here like a little kid with, yeah. If it happens, it happens. But I would rather see him in Fury. And what would be funny is for him to be the one Fury's last ass whooping before he retires. Then him and Usyk. And I'd rather see that because Usyk said he's not going to retire. Now, he can change his mind, but if AJ doesn't fight Fury and he wins and he doesn't retire and that fight's there for him, and he does and Fury, Fury for whatever reason doesn't want to fight him, I already know he don't want to fight AJ. He's not as confident that he can beat AJ as he tried to make you think. But that fight would be there, and like Usyk will still be around. And he would probably go right to Usyk might have a fight before or maybe not. But bottom line, I guess depending on how the fight goes between Usyk and Fury is how you negate what happens next. But just imagine that happens and he beats Fury, and then he goes and avenges his losses to Usyk. Man, that I mean, talk about a storybook ending to a career, or just the accomplishment in the career. But you don't know what's gonna happen. But the fact that Fury's already talking about retiring, man, so it's like, fuck Fury. Let Fury go in the ring and back up all this shit that he says, and go in there and fight Anthony Joshua like he's supposed to. But he got to get past Usyk first. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree. Fuck Tyson Fury. I've been saying that shit way before AJ said it, and for more reasons than it ain't about personal. I don't care how you personally feel about AJ. Fury's just full of shit, man. And I don't respect the shit that he does. I don't respect the shit that he does. I don't respect the shit that he says. Now what he does in the ring, yeah, man, we know Fury can fight, but I don't care about that. Just like Alicia Baumgartner can fight, but the way she's doing things, I didn't respect that shit. Y'all know me. I want to see that Haney. I want to see Devin Haney win. I just got on Bill Haney's ass, didn't I? And for y'all who didn't see that video, go check it out. But yeah, I mean, and why I got on Bill Haney was because Bill, him and, Adrian and them, they going back and forth, Alicia Baumgartner and all that, but she referred to him as broke, Adrian Broner, right? It's not a defense of Adrian Broner. Broner did what he did to himself. But my thing, Bill is laughing at that shit and then repeated it in another video about these dudes ain't getting no money and all that. And I see Bill Haney out here giving food to homeless, broke, poor people. So if you laughing at Adrian Broner, then you're laughing at these people. You understand what I mean? You don't make fun of somebody's financial situation. Like, even if they're too stupid to understand that they're their biggest problem, I get all of that. There's other ways that you can insult Adrian Broner. But, it's not about defensive Adrian, because Adrian Broner, like I said, did it to himself. But to make fun of somebody being broke, and you out here feeding broke people, you out here feeding homeless people, giving back. So that shit make it look like it's just for the cameras when you don't laugh at shit like that. That's not some shit you support. And Bill Haney is the elder out of all of that shit. So why are you even entertaining that kind of stupid conversation with these people? You understand what I mean? And for Alicia Baumgartner to say that shit, calling people bro, I'm like, see, nah, you talk about if you don't fuck with me, something wrong with you. Like, why could you not fuck? I'm cool as fuck. Nah, you're arrogant. You got a big ass ego. And that's the thing, man. Like, certain shit that people say and do, others don't get it. They think everything is a joke. But I don't respect anybody that think it's cool to make fun of somebody for having less. You understand what I mean? That would be like, imagine giving these poor people food, going, hey, listen, you broke, hungry ass eating because of me. Don't forget that. You owe me, motherfucker. Get your broke ass over here and get your little meal and get the fuck out of here. You understand what I mean? Like, you don't make fun of that type of shit, man. You don't even support that kind of shit. So I stand on business for real. And I'm not no rich guy. I out of my pocket help families, help people. You understand what I mean? So you would never hear me sit up here and talk about somebody's financial situation. It's funny. I remember one day, some idiot put in the comment section that it was so stupid. I didn't even know he was supposed to be talking to me. He put some laughing emoji and put, yo, dude, a construction worker, which I'm not. I've done construction work. That means I have multiple skills. I don't have problems with work. I can take care of my family. I can take care of myself. Our food, we always have food in the house. Our lights, our water never gets cut off. Nothing. We have multiple cars that we have to maintain. We putting kids through college. You know what I'm saying? We live in a blessed life. So nothing I say is about bragging. So my point is, what's the joke? That I have skills? Stupid ass? Then the guy goes, nah, I'm just saying, like, for somebody to be qualified to question a boxer, dumbass, I box, I wrestle, I do mixed martial arts. I'm sitting here like, you know, people love to talk what they don't know. And I said, well, you know what? I don't like to compare situations, and you shouldn't either, because the way I see it, you're commenting on my comment section 5 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock. So to me, that lets me know Monday through Friday, your ass is unemployed. So what the fuck are you talking about? I don't see how you have time to work, but you always on my channel talking shit. So what are you doing productive? And this is what I'm saying, like how people just say stupid shit. So when I see certain people, and you get a certain age, man, you know, so my point, nobody can sit here and say I show favoritism to anybody. Like that coward shit that Bernard Hopkins did when he shouldered Haney and then ran off and let people separate them. That was some real goofy, childish shit. But the same way, you heard me say what I'm saying in favor of Bill. You hear me saying that was some disappointing shit for Bill to be the person he is and sit here and even cater to this goofy shit. That's not something to laugh at. You flashing your little watch and your money and all, big deal. You got some, okay, you making money. Because if you lose it all, that's when you're going to have to eat humble pie, and all of a sudden you're embarrassed. Shit happens in everybody's life that some things you find you're just not in control of. So, just saying, man, you know. But anyway, fuck Tyson Fury. I agree with Anthony Joshua, y'all. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.